What I was saying is I want for my brother what I want for myself. Because I want for you what I want for myself. So if I see that you could get something, I'm gonna help you get it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to hurt you from getting it. You know what I'm saying? That's it. That's all. I love you.
Hello, how are you? How are you? I'm saying I need to be on Broadway. Welcome back to my channel. I have a potty mouth. If you're new here, my name is Baby Gil. I am just figuring out where I fit, and I was doing lots of Gypsy Rose content, but my focus is like true crime or like the criminal mind. I'm very fascinated with it. So I'm thinking about doing a video on criminal profiling of different serial killers and stuff. Today's video is, obviously you read the title, it's about Casey Anthony and the weird kind of like similarity dynamic thing between her and Gypsy Rose. It's just weird because you think of it like this, where you've got basically in one situation we have a narcissistic daughter who unalived her mother, and then in the other situation we have a narcissistic mother who unalived her daughter. I mean, is that not fucking weird? And that all of a sudden the one that I feel is the worst of the two, if you want to pick one, is thinking she can just come to social media and be like, hey, here I am. Yeah, you may have gotten acquitted, but I still believe you're guilty. I mean, there's just no fucking way that you're not guilty. So that is the question of today's video. Why is what Casey Anthony did, allegedly, worse than what Gypsy Rose Blanchard did? Both cases are horrible, of course. Both cases are also very similar in weird ways. They're like completely different. It's such a strange dynamic. This is just wild. Why do daughters usually unalive their mothers or their parents in general? We know what Gypsy did, and that she did it to run away with her boyfriend and have this newfound life of freedom, as she said. Because apparently she thought that if her mother stayed alive, she would be able to have the life that she wanted so badly, which is the life that she's living right now. Do I think that she should be living her dreams out? Hell fucking no. That's the reality right now. And it's sad and it's sick that I'm actually having this fucking conversation on the internet right now. Gypsy did it out of greed and hatred for her mother. Pure narcissistic selfishness. Just everything was about her. It was all about making sure that she got away, instead of saying, hey, the woman needs me right now, let me be there for her, but as I get older I'm gonna have to confront her and let her know, hey, I can't do this with you. You're gonna have to, because if you think about it, that can't even be right, because Gypsy claims that her mother told her that she needed to get out. She could go, The next day, she said that her mother, even in the interrogation, she says it, that her mother was literally on the verge of kicking her out. So if that was the case, how were you being controlled, Gypsy, and told that you couldn't go out and live your dream? So that's why I don't really truly believe the fact that she claims that, she would never have been able to live that happy life. Her mother would have just prevented it at all costs. And that's not true. I think that Dee Dee was ready to be done. Like I've said for this entire time. Dee Dee was just over it all, I think. She was too sick to worry about it anymore. And I don't think Gypsy wanted to be the one to be her caregiver, because she knew that it would have to be the reversal. And she then would have to be there 24/7 to care for her mom. She didn't want to do that. So she made sure she got her little happy ass up and did what she could to make sure she would never have to do that. That's what I believe. That's not why we're here right now. Gypsy planned this fucking shit for 2 years. Why couldn't you plan your escape for 2 years and plan how you're going to get away from her? There's just so much in this fucking case with her that just makes me sick. And then to know that Casey Anthony's making videos on TikTok, it's like, oh God, that's another one of complete delusion all the way through and through. Holy fuck, here we are. Now, what else is coming? See, Gypsy didn't fit the normal criteria of the profile of a child that unalives their parent. But Gypsy was unique because she was a born psychopath. I believe. This is my opinion. This is all alleged. This is all for entertainment, educational, and informational purposes only. Gypsy was unique because I believe that she was a psychopath. Born psychopath. Because she could just easily manipulate from such a young age. Easily manipulate people around her. You know what I mean? And it's just like, she almost knew just how powerful she really is, even at a young age, without even having to know it. You know what I'm saying? It's just something that maybe we don't understand fully, is what I'm saying. She's a charismatic, robotic, manipulative, awful person who let her greedy agenda take over her mind, ultimately causing her to unalive the one person who gave a shit completely out of love for you, Gypsy Rose, and you took her life. How dare you? You are not the person that's supposed to be deciding when someone's demise is supposed to happen. You took on the role of God at that point. And that is a sin that I believe is unforgivable. To be honest with you, motherfucker. So we're going to look at what this term means. And it's for mothers who unalive their daughters. It's called, or any, parent that unalives their child, basically. It's called filicide. It's the deliberate act of a parent killing their own child. The word filicide is derived from the Latin words filius and filia, son and daughter, and the suffix side from the word cadere, meaning to kill. The word can refer to both the crime and the perpetrator of the crime. There are 5 motives of filicide, including altruistic, fatal maltreatment, unwanted child, acutely psychotic, and spousal revenge. Altruistic is parent believes that this world is just too cruel, and she has to take the child's life to get them out of this cruel world. Like the one lady, Susan or something, that drove her car into the lake with her kids. That would be a form of altruistic. And then we have fatal maltreatment. Goal isn't always to kill, but it can happen because of what they go through. Kind of like Munchausen by proxy would be under this type of filicide. Right? It's like, oh no, I accidentally did this, but it's because of this that, And then spousal revenge killings are when the spouse, or the husband or the wife or the whatever kills the child to then get back at the other person, which is vile and disgusting.
Do you guys know what filicide is? If you don't, let me tell you. Filicide is the intentional act of a parent taking their child's life. A parent murdering their child. And we see it way too often. We just sat down with a mother who went through this exact thing the middle of last year, May 2024. And she shared with us that 420 children have gone through this in the year. That's the number. 420 children were murdered by their parents. We've got to do better. We've got to do better.
It's also different when a father kills the child because the mother is the nurturer. The mother's the one that is supposed to kiss their boo-boos and, you know, rock them to sleep and give them that kind of nurturing that a child craves, just like we were talking about Gypsy Rose's baby.
Hi. She just said something that sounded like hi. I know it was a coo, but it kind of sounded like hi.
I love people.
You got a lot to say, huh? Yeah.
Rose and Bridget gone.
And then what happened? Oh, you're so tired
I
now.
apologize. You must forgive me. It's a very indiscreet question.
Okay.
Perfect evening, just like it was.
You're in a very talkative mood, huh, baby girl?
Nice and warm. Thank you for that.
The baby right now especially needs her mother's nurturing. So I hope she really focuses on that. And it's an outdated perspective. Yeah, you could say that. But I believe that ultimately that's what makes Casey Anthony so much worse than Gypsy Rose in one way. But then Gypsy makes up for it in other ways, I will say. And being the mom, the one that births the child, to then go ahead and take the life of that child is insane to me. I just can't even fathom it in my own mind. I can't.
You have an opinion as to the manner of death in this case.
Yes.
What is that opinion?
Homicide.
What do you base that on?
It's based on three main items. First, we know from observational studies, from experience, that it is a red flag that when a child is not reported immediately to authorities, either with an injury, that's something we look for foul play. This child, from history, was not reported for a long time. The other thing that makes it a homicide is that the body was hidden. A child's body is thrown out, hidden in a field. We know that is one of the things we look for when we are looking for a homicide. Also, it's often found that these bodies are in, not always, but closed containers, a suitcase or a plastic bag like this child was. That, again, is from our experience from observational systematic studies, a red flag for homicide. And the last, besides the delay, besides the being found in a field decomposed, would be the duct tape somewhere located on the lower half of this face. There is no child that should have duct tape on its face when it dies. There is no reason to put duct tape on the face after they die. Based on our experience, we've seen that in cases of homicide.
You are aware, are you not, of the evidence of chloroform being found during certain portions of the investigation of this case?
I was made aware of that, yes.
Could a child exposed to a sufficient amount of chloroform die as a result?
Absolutely.
But at this point, based upon the medical evidence, can you tell what caused her death?
No, I believe we have enough evidence, and I believe it's scientifically defensible to say it's a homicide, but I do not believe we have enough scientific information to say the means of how that homicide occurred.
So if I understand your testimony, the long and short of it is, are confirming that despite the investigations, the toxicology, the anthropologists, all of these things, there is no scientific or medical evidence to establish the cause of this child's death. Is that correct?
The means of the homicide could not be determined.
And you determined to call it a homicide as opposed to an accident or indeterminate?
The circumstances of death and did not fit anything but a homicide.
The circumstances.
That's the way the body was found.
Okay.
And not
I know
reporting
that.
the body.
And also what Detective Melich told you.
I'm not, what part did Dr. Melich tell me? The part that the body wasn't reported for 31 days was what
You
he told me.
learned these things from Yuri Melich, an investigator.
That's our standard
And some of the
course
things-
of business.
Some of the things you learned from the media.
From you?
Media
Oh, media. No, nothing from media would have been entered into my decision.
didn't enter your mind.
Well, I can't take anything that the media would say into a decision as grave as this.
So the bottom line is, when you say, and you place the label homicide, the indeterminate means, you're saying that circumstantial evidence to you says that it probably was a homicide.
Not probably. I think that it.
And it's like narcissism kicks in big time. And nobody figures it out, though, until the lies are exposed. Just like what happened to Gypsy Rose, then it'll come out. Everything will come out. But Casey Anthony was like, I need to party, and I'm going to make sure I can do that. And I can't do that with a child, you know? And that's the gist of how everybody took it in that time period. And we all, of course, felt horrible for, you know, what happened. But at the same time, we were like, fuck that stupid bitch that even would think of doing that because she wanted to go be with a bunch of guys and, you know, whatever the fuck she did. All that ever comes into my mind when I think about her is that one Buck Cherry song, "You're a crazy bitch." You know, Casey Anthony's case, though, like, it actually literally makes me feel physically ill.
Casey?
Mom.
Hey, sweetie.
Well, I just saw your nice little cameo on TV.
Which one?
What do you mean, which one?
Which one? I did 4 different ones, and I don't know. I haven't seen them all. I've only seen 1 or 2 so far.
You don't know what my involvement is and stuff?
Casey?
Mom.
What?
No.
I don't know what your involvement is, sweetheart. You're not telling me where she's at.
Because I don't fucking know where she's at. Are you kidding me?
Casey, don't waste your call to scream and holler at me.
Waste my call sitting in, the jail?
Whose fault
where
is
bunks are?
Whose fault is you're sitting in the jail? You're blaming me that you're sitting in the jail?
Not
Blame
my
yourself
fault.
for telling lies. You mean it's not your fault? What do you mean it's not your fault, sweetheart? If you'd have told them the truth and not lied about everything, they wouldn't.
Do me a favor, just tell me what Tony's number is. I don't want to talk to you right now. Forget it.
I don't have his number.
We'll get it from Lee because I know Lee's at the house. I saw Mallory's car was out front. It was just on the news. They were just live outside the house.
I know they were.
Well, can you get Tony's number for me so I can call him?
Hey.
Hey, can you give me Tony's number?
I can do that. I don't know what real good it's going to do you at this point.
Well, I'd like to talk to him anyway.
Okay.
Because I called to talk to my mother, and it's a fucking waste. Oh, by the way, I don't want any of you coming up here when I have my my first hearing for bond and everything else. Like, don't even fucking waste your time coming up here.
You know, you're making it real tough for anybody to want to try to even assist you with giving you somebody's phone number. You're not even letting me finish.
Well,
Go
ahead.
You're asking me for Tony's phone number so you can call him, and then you immediately want to start cussing towards me and saying, don't even worry about coming up here for all this stuff and trying to cut us out.
I'm not trying to cut anybody out.
I'm not going around and around with you. You know, that's pretty pointless. I'm not going to put everybody else through the same stuff that you've been putting the police and everybody else through for the last 24 hours and the stuff you've been putting Mom through for the last 4 or 5 weeks. I'm done with that. So you can tell me what's going on. Christina would love to talk to you because she thinks that you will tell her what's going on. Frankly, we're going to find out. Whatever's going on, it's going to be found out. So why not do it now?
There's nothing to find out. There's absolutely nothing to find out, and that's even what I told the detective.
Well, you know, everything
I have
she's
no
telling them
clue where
is
Kaylee
a
is. If I knew where Kaylee was, do you think any of this would be happening? No.
Anyway, you only got a couple minutes with this, so I'm not going to let you completely waste it. Here's Christina. She thinks she can get through.
No, I want Tony's number. I'm not talking to anybody else.
Hello?
Hi, I'm glad everybody's at my house. I'll have to call you later. I'll have to call somebody to get your number. Do me a favor, get my brother back because I need Tony's number.
Okay, is there anything I can do for you?
I'm sitting in jail. There's nothing anybody can do right now.
Well, I'm just trying to be...
Oh, I know you are, honey. I absolutely know that you are, and I appreciate everything that you're trying to do, but I'd like to call Tony. He's not at my house, is he?
No,
Okay.
no, it's just me and your parents and Lee.
Okay. Well, can you do me a favor and get my brother back or get the number from him, please?
Does Tony have anything to do with Kaylee?
No. Nothing.
Okay, so why do you want to talk to Tony? You probably don't want to tell me, do you?
Huh?
You probably don't want to tell me, do you?
I didn't hear what you said.
I said, does Tony have anything to do with Kaylee?
No, Tony had nothing to do with Kaylee.
Oh, so why do you want to talk to him? You probably don't want to tell me.
He's my boyfriend, and I want to actually try to sit and talk to him because I didn't get a chance to talk to him earlier because I got arrested on a fucking whim today because they're blaming me for stuff that I never would do, that I didn't do.
Okay. Well, I'm on your side. You know that, right?
I know that. I just want to talk to Tony, get a little bit of...
Casey, you have to tell me if you know anything about Kaylee.
Sweetheart,
if anything happens to Kaylee, Casey, I'll die. You understand? I'll die. If anything happens to that baby.
Oh my God. Calling you guys? A waste. Huge waste. Honey, I love you. You know I would not let anything happen to my daughter. If I knew where she was, this wouldn't be going on.
So how come everybody's saying you're lying?
Because nobody's fucking listening to anything that I'm saying. The media completely misconstrued everything that I said. The fucking detectives told them fucking bullshit. They got all of their information from me, yet at the same time, they're twisting stuff. They've already said they're going to pin this on me if they don't find Kaylee. They've already said that.
Well,
they arrested me because they said that...
Yeah, because they said that the person that you dropped Kaylee with doesn't even exist.
Because, oh, look, they can't find her in the Florida database. She's not just from Florida. If they would actually listen to anything that I would have said to them, they would have had their lead. They maybe could have tracked her down. They haven't listened to a fucking thing that I've said.
Do you know that whoever has Kaylee, nobody's going to get away with it?
I'm not even going to lie to you. I get sick to my stomach when I think of how horribly Kaylee Anthony was treated, even after death. You know, babies are innocent. They're precious. Just like Chris Watts. I mean, how could he look at their beautiful little faces and them? I don't get that. And then how could she do the same? But she claims that's all alleged. She claims that she did not do it. But if you didn't, why are you not fucking freaking out at this moment and for the past 20 years trying to find out who did this to Kaylee. If it wasn't you. Because it seems to me like you got out of there and you were just like, oh, thank God it's over. Give me a beer. And you know, Gypsy Rose is no fucking saint. I mean, I'm not saying that. But there's no question about how I feel at all then. A child is just different. I don't know, you know. Another thing that Gypsy Rose Blanchard and Casey Anthony is that they're both fascinated with publicity, it seems like. So in the midst of doing my video that I was about to be done with, I had to make sure that this was added in because, oh my God, Jeffree Star, he just never fails to surprise me.
Jeffree Star went in on Gypsy Rose on a live. Y'all gotta watch this.
Yeah, look at the chat. Oh. Who is it? It's Gypsy. I'm a little busy tonight, though, but hopefully I can clap with your mother. Whoa. Oh, dear. Yeah, we can either do Uno or the Ouija board. You pick one. Uno, draw for word.
When Jeffree Star goes in on you, I have not been the biggest Jeffree Star fan.
Right.
But that right there was iconic. Okay, Jeffree, he said, I don't.
He always says what he feels.
But I can play with your mom. Jeffree is so unhinged.
For real.
Oh, baby.
Girl. They both love it. And Casey Anthony loves the media.
The LGBTQ and going against Trump and advocating for her dead daughter, who literally, yeah, we already know what happened there. But now she's gotten a lot of backlash and she didn't like it. She's taken it to heart, so she started threatening to sue creators who don't like that she's on there for defamation. Well, listen here, you big mouth, bad body. Vast majority of us remember you, and we remember what you did.
Someone just said that Haley was dead this morning. Surprise, surprise.
That was the literal moment that you were supposed to have found out that your daughter was dead. You know, the one that you didn't report missing for like 31 days? Oh, did you report her missing? No. Your parents and grandparents did. You already knew. They found the physical evidence of the decomposition from your daughter's body in the trunk. You were out posting pictures of yourself partying all over Orlando for that entire time that your daughter was missing. As somebody who's been found not guilty in a jury trial on a case where I was dead guilty too, I'm just here to let everybody know reasonable doubt can be a whole pain in the ass. Getting found not guilty doesn't necessarily mean that you're not guilty. And you can't sue for defamation over somebody's opinions. So Casey Anthony decided she was going to make a TikTok.
But with Casey Anthony, I just imagine Casey looking into her little baby girl's eyes and taking her life. And it's just awful. Because we just looked at Casey Anthony's video and it's like, why are you coming to TikTok to talk about this right now? So that's why, in conclusion, why I feel like Casey Anthony is a lot worse than Gypsy Rose. Okay? Just because of the sole fact that, okay, yes, there's a lot of different things that Gypsy Rose and Nick did that are sick and shouldn't have happened. Of course, I get that. But at the same time, Dee Dee was not a child. Yes, Dee Dee was her mother. There are different factors that make it just as bad with Gypsy Rose, being that, you know, the daughter killing the mother has different reasons and whatever else, you know what I mean? And then it's much different for a mother to the nurturer, the one that's supposed to be the loving one, takes their daughter's life. I mean, that's just the epitome. I mean, it gives me... It grosses me out. It really fucking grosses me out. So, my phone died, you guys. So, anyways, as we were fucking saying, I don't even know what the hell he was talking about before. But anyways, I have some other clips that I want you guys to see about this.
You seem so scared. All I wanted to do was play with you. Please come and play with me. I'm so lonely. You're not afraid of the dark, are you?
And I believe that we all have a little bit of narcissism in us. A little bit, you know what I mean? She got a lot of backlash, all right? And we already have to deal with Gypsy Rose. And then I found out from Nadatha, I was just watching her video, that we need to start getting on Instagram over there and telling them what's going on with Gypsy and who she really is. Because apparently, not many people know over there. Which is odd to me, but whatever. But yeah, she's gotten a ton of backlash, as, you know, I didn't think anything otherwise, you know. But, yeah, so that's... This video here that I'm doing is just like a slight touch on the narcissism of Casey Anthony and Gypsy Rose Blanchard, and how I'm trying to compare the two and kind of see, kind of doing my own kind of experiment where I'm comparing the two, trying to figure out what exactly triggers their narcissism to be so fucking strong that they are willing to kill over it. Okay? Anyways, you guys, like I said, this video here is just the start. So, tell me what your thoughts are in the comments below. I mean, obviously these two are very, very similar. And they're obviously two very tragic, awful cases. And I just want to know what your thoughts are on everything. And do you think that narcissists can be reformed? Like, can they change? I don't know. That's a hard one. But anyways, I hope you have a good night, day, morning, whatever time you're watching this. Thank you for tuning in tonight with Baby Gail. See you next time.